We have two different possibilities of how to create our shield. First is using the standard surfaces by drawing a curve and creating a surface out of it. While this may seem like a straightforward thing, curve modeling it's a little bit unpredictable when it comes to using your models, for example, in the video games, because we have a limited control over the geometry and how it is created. So it's always a good idea to first think in line of polygonal modeling. So that's this part here, right? So poly modeling. So what we'll do is we will start with the box, and then we'll start adding the geometry to the point where we can modify the box properties, its vertices, so that it will start resembling the shape of the shield of the logotype, right? So first thing we want to do is in the polygon primitives, we also want to turn on the interactive creation, which will allow us to draw the size and the shape directly here in the view. And that's exactly what we'll do. So we'll draw the shape so it will resemble our shield. And we let it go, and it tells you drag up to set height. So if you press space, it goes to the foreview, and I drag up to make it as big as the shield. So again, I'm happy with this. I'll just move it. I'll go into a object mode, pressing a right mouse button to making sure the object is selected. Now, with this being selected, I go and select the move and just position it back so that it covers the whole shield. So now I'm happy with it. The shortcuts between using different tools is Q for selection, W for moving the object, E for rotating object, R for scaling the object. So this is a very useful key to remember. Q, W, E, R. Right? So I'm happy, but hey, where is my reference image? It's quite useless currently because I can't even see my reference image. So that's why there is this X-ray shading for. So again, in the view of your Maya window, you can turn on the reference X-ray shading, and there is my W. If I turn on my vertices now, I can only move these vertices here, right? And that probably will not help me creating the shield of my image. What I need is to add a bit more geometry, which would allow me to move the vertices, for example, here, 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 and here, in order to create the shape of the shield. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going back to the attribute editor and select the object mode, where in the polycube part, I can start adding subdivisions. You can see subdividing this object into multiple parts adds a geometry that we need, right? So I think this is the level of detail that I will be happy with. This moving up here, this part moving up here, this part moving up here, and then leaving the tip of the shield here. Now, the next thing is that I want to save me a lot of work, but being able to modify just one bit with the other one being done automatically. This is done by turning on the symmetry. So what you normally have is you have a symmetry off. So when you are selecting the image, I'm selecting only one vertex, right? So you can see this one. If I turn on the symmetry alongside some axis, for example, object Y, I can see that the top and the bottom vertex are selected automatically, right? So moving this one would move also automatically the bottom one. Turning on the symmetry by a different axis allows me to select the left and right part of the image of the box at the same time. So that's exactly what I want, right? I want to modify just the left part or the right part, and the left or right part symmetrically is modified. So we can start. We need to make sure that we are not selecting just one vertex here, because if we select only one vertex, and we can see we've only selected the front vertex here, right? Let me turn this off. We can see that we selected, if we would move this one here, we can see that we are actually moving only one part of the shield, which is not what we want. So instead, what we'll do is we will use this marquee with the left click, selecting both of those vertices at the same time. So you can see now that both of them are selected. And now we can quickly create the shape of our shield. So we go here and here, and you can see that we pretty quickly created the shield. Now what we want to do is make this a little bit better. So we just select these two, and then we put it up here. Selecting these two, put it up here, so that we get a bit more dramatic curvature here. So selecting these two and up here, and selecting this up here. Right. So now it's a bit nicer curvature. There we go. So we've very quickly created the shape of our shield. Right. So I'm happy with that. One thing that we can try to do, I'm not sure if this will be possible, is we can put it back into the 000, so it's nicely aligned with our reference image. And then the other thing that we can do is try to modify this at this moment, so it's going to be 12 as a perfect height. That didn't work. All right, so I'll just undo that. And height probably seen, and yeah, we can make this 1.5, so it's a bit not as deep, right? And then the rest is I'm happy with, because I followed basically the reference image. All right, so the next step now is the W letter, right? So what we want to do is create a W letter, and in our case, we will punch a hole through the shield in shape of our W letter, and we will use something called the Boolean operation for this purpose. So we will do this in our next video.